Hey everybody, what's going on, and welcome to Rock and Roll True Stories. And with Neil Peart's passing happening about 2 weeks ago, there's been more and more stories of what his final later years were like. And probably the most recent story we've heard was from former Jethro Tull drummer Don Perry, who took to Facebook to remember his departed friend. So as part of the message he wrote, during the last 3.5 years, Neil faced this brutal, aggressive brain cancer bravely, philosophically, and with his customary humor. He would also go on to say that his sense of humor was very characteristic of him, even given the serious situation and the odds handed to him at the time of the diagnosis and subsequent surgery. He would also go on to reveal that he felt undone when he learned of his friend's death, and he'd also talk about Peart's request for privacy, saying by Peart's own request for privacy, few people knew him, but his understandable response to the news in no way excludes or diminishes all those who already knew him, worked with him, or loved him and admired him from up close or at a distance. Now, Perry would also go on to say his tenacious approach to life served him well during those last years, and although he primarily kept his own counsel, he retained his dignity, compassion, understanding, and his deeply inquisitive nature which never deserted him. He would also go on to reveal that during his interactions with Peart in his final few years, that the drummer was not in pain. He'd say, "This was always my first question when I saw him," Perry recalled. "Any pain?" I asked. "No pain," came the reply. What a blessing that was. We were all grateful for that. There was even an interview that would happen last week where Sully Erna, the frontman for the band Godsmack, who apparently became friends with Peart, said that in the drummer's final year of his life, he was in a wheelchair and he couldn't speak. But it appeared that that report may have been inaccurate because a close friend of the band said rumors surrounding Neil Peart's final months are inaccurate. So this came by the way of a woman named Donna Halper, who was the same woman who was credited with discovering Rush while working at an Ohio radio station back in 1974. So she addressed the rumors that Peart was unable to speak in his final months prior to his death, basically posting on social media that the rumors of his final months were inaccurate. So she said, "Sad to say there are some rumors about Neil Peart's final months circulating on social media. The vast majority are inaccurate. As for me, I choose to remember Neil as he was, and I want to respect his family's privacy during this difficult time." She would later add several more tweets saying, "Normally I would remain silent and let people say what they want, but to say this is different. My friendship with Rush is something I take very seriously, and I will defend the truth as much as I can. It's the least I can do." But it ended the way he wanted, surrounded by his family and best friends. By the way, he was able to speak almost till the very end, I'm told. "Anyways, I'm just sorry there's no cure for this kind of cancer he had. May he rest in peace. That's the only reason I decided to say something. I hope folks understand. This is not about me. It's about respecting Neil's memory and letting him rest in peace." And then from May of 2018, which was about 2 years after he was diagnosed with his brain cancer, a photo emerged of Neil Peart from a person named Lauren Gump Wheaton, who posted this photo in 2018 saying, "Lunch date in SoCal today, always good hanging with the boss." Now, following Peart's death, Rush's back catalog has been performing extremely well on the Billboard charts and on streaming services. So figures that were compiled by Nielsen Music and MRC Data have shown that between the 10th of January and the 13th, audio and video streams of the trio's music went up by almost 800%, which hit a combined figure of almost 25 million. And the most played track, which really shouldn't be a surprise, was Tom Sawyer from the Moving Pictures record, which was played almost 3 million times compared to 700,000 streams the week before. And the sales of individual tracks in the same period for those 4 days were up almost 2,400% from 1,000 to 19,000, while the album purchases for the group rose to almost 2,000%. So that concludes today's video, guys. Thanks for watching. Be sure to hit the like button and subscribe.